Hello everyone, my name is Roya. Today I'm going to be telling you all about some of the books that I've had the longest that I still haven't read. So this is kind of a video that I've seen several people do lately. I think there have been a lot of videos of like TBR shelf tours and like unhauls and like all kinds of stuff about what books people haven't read yet. And I don't know if it's just because it's like 2020 and people are going, oh, like this is how long I've had these books, like all of a sudden. But I've seen a lot of like TBR related videos lately and like focusing on the specific books that people still have that they haven't read. And I've seen a lot like this where they're showing like different, what books they've had the longest, that type of thing. So I figured I would do this as well. So here are just 5 of the books that I've had the longest. These are not necessarily the books I've had the longest, but this is about like kind of the books among the books that I've had the longest on this channel. Firstly, I do have King's Dragon by Kate Elliott. I also have the second book in this series as well. I got them both for like nothing at a thrift store, and yeah, it seemed like really interesting to me, but for some reason I just haven't gotten to it. I don't know why, but I definitely do plan to read these books. I just don't, I don't know if I'm going to read the whole series or not, but I at least want to read the 2 that I have. They do sound really interesting. They're just kind of like old freaking fantasy books. I don't know, but I've had them for quite a while. I'm not exactly sure when it was that I got them. I wasn't able to like find what book haul I hauled them in. Another old fantasy that I have that I still haven't read is Witch World by Andre Norton. This is a very classic old fantasy from, I think the 70s was when it was originally published. I don't know, but essentially this is a book that is kind of just a like, I don't know when I'm gonna get to this type of book, because I really don't know. Like, I want to read it, but I also don't know like when I'm gonna be in the mood to read it either. But I got this at a used bookstore forever ago. It's one that isn't even like necessarily in my area, but I used to go to that store on the way to band practice sometimes if I like had extra time between like when work ended and when band practice started or something like that. I just like head over there and like look at books, all of that stuff. And so this is a book that I got there. So it's been like that long. I was in an active band when I still like when I got this book. So it's been a while. The Little Country by Charles DeLint. This is actually one of 3 Charles DeLint books that I still have that I haven't read. This was actually from basically my second year on BookTube. Like, I've had this book for a while. I haven't had my other 2 Charles DeLint books that I still haven't read for that long at all. It's only been like a couple years, but for this one, it's been like 4 years. The Alienist by Caleb Carr. I think I may actually have had this book before I started my channel, but I'm not even totally sure about that. Funny thing too is that I actually did start reading this book a couple years ago, and I just like stopped. Even though it was really good, I liked it, but for some reason, like after a couple chapters of it, I like stopped reading it. So I'm not sure. So I don't know when I'm gonna get back to it, but I definitely still want to read it, so I don't know. And finally, The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I actually got this book right before it was my first BookTube anniversary. So it was still within my first year on BookTube. So it's been like over 4 years since I had this book, since I got this book, and I got it as part of a Book Outlet Black Friday sale. It was the first time I had really bought any new books in a while, because I was just like super broke and barely actually bought any books, especially new books at all. So I don't know. So it's crazy. And the other books that I got as part of that sale, I read right away, but for some reason I just never ended up reading this one. So I do still want to read it. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to read the whole series, but I at least want to read this one. Like, I've heard that the rest of the series isn't as good as the first one, but I'm not sure. But I definitely want to read it soon. So I don't know when I'm going to get to it though. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts are on them, and which one of these I should read first and all of that, because I do want to read these books. I just don't necessarily know when I'm going to get to them, and I could use any motivation I can get. So if you really loved any of these books, definitely let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!